So, for the next 1 hour or so, we are going to discuss about PSIR optional. In this next 1 hour, you are going to know about what is the syllabus of the PSIR and what is the success rate when you are choosing the PSIR, and in general, if you have any dilemmas regarding how to choose the optional also, I will help you out. Apart from this, how you should approach the PSIR, and when you are choosing the PSIR, how the PSIR optional is going to help you to score more than 400 marks in GS also. Okay, with evidence, I will tell you now. Okay, before we start the class, first the PSIR stands for Political Science and International Relations. That means here you are going to learn about political science as well as the international relations. Okay, for our convenience, UPSC clearly defined the syllabus: political science in paper 1 and international relations in paper 2. That means 2 papers. You know that students, previously in UPSC there used to be 2 optionals. Later they reduced the optional to 1. So each optional carries 500 marks. Okay, and each optional consists of 2 papers: paper 1, paper 2, and each paper part A, part B, and part A, part B. That means overall 4 parts and 2 papers. I will help you out in the syllabus what are the topics present in the part A and part B in paper 1 as well as the paper 2. So, before we start the class in detail, first let me explain what we are going to discuss in this class, so that you will get an idea what you are going to learn for the next 1 hour and how this next 1 hour is going to add quality to your preparation. Okay. So, here I included a quote of Plato. So, what is saying generally, if you do not take an interest in the affairs of the government, then you are doomed to live under rules of fools. That means obviously the present day Russian people, okay, they are experiencing the foolish rule of the Vladimir Putin. Yesterday also, day before yesterday also, you are seeing that some revolutionary groups, they are revolting against the Vladimir Putin in Russia. Are you following the current affairs? Okay. So, why that situation happened? Obviously, when the ruler is not, like properly thinking, or when the ruler is not democratic enough, not only that individual will suffer, even the entire country will suffer. Okay. Same happened when George Bush, when he declared war, America when declared war on Iraq, some thousands of soldiers they sent to Iraq and they lost lives. Later, George Bush confessed that, okay, it was just by mistake we sent forces to Iraq. We thought that Iraq is making the nuclear weapons. That is the reason we sent America to Iraq. Just because of that one individual mistake, obviously hundreds and thousands of the people, they lost life. The same thing happened in the Afghanistan. NATO forces and American forces, they were there in Afghanistan, okay, for almost a decade, more than 10 years. But what they achieved? They did not achieve anything, and they withdrawn from the Afghanistan. As soon as the NATO withdrawn from the Afghanistan, again Afghanistan took control by the Taliban. So, when you are looking all these things, what you are understanding, you must understand that the ruler, how the ruler will be, so that the country will also be like that. Not only you have to think about country, even the state also. Some states experience the economic failure, and some states they stood out as a model for the other states. It's all about the ruler. So, political science is all about how this rule evolved, how the government evolved. Okay, what is the relationship between the people and government? Because when you are going to become a public servant, obviously you have to know about how the state is functioning. State means authority. In polity, if you are done with the polity, that is okay. Otherwise, in the Indian polity, we will read Article 12. In the Indian Constitution, Article 12 deals with the definition of state. Okay. If the state is having absolute control, that is nothing but monarchy. And if the people are having too much of liberty, that is known as democracy. So, both are having their issues. Positives are there, negatives are there. That means when you are going through the PSIR, obviously you will develop an understanding how state functions and how that functioning affect the individual also. In a democratic country, how the individual life, for example, a person X, how his life in a democratic country like America, and the same person is a brother something like person Y, how his lifestyle will be in communist country like China. So, you will appreciate this kind of thinking when you know about the functioning of the states. Okay. So, basically for the PSIR optional, the first paper is all about the political theory and how the government works. I will help you out in the syllabus, we will go through that, even the hard copy also given to you and soft copy also forwarded to the online students. Okay. Now, so first will focus about some dilemmas, some some frequently asked questions regarding the optionals. First we will try to go for that, and before that, students, generally there are two types of students. Okay, so in UPSC classes I have seen students regarding the optional, students who want to take the optional which is related to their bachelor's degree. Okay, these are the students, the one category. Okay, so category 1 students and category 2, these are the two category students. Category 1 students, they go with their whatever they studied in the degree, they will go for that optional. For example, agriculture science or political science, because in Delhi and other areas in North India, majority of the people will take the political science. I will show the statistics to you now, just very soon. UPSC released that guidelines, that reports. I will show you how many people opted for the PSIR in 2020. Actually, these reports are coming with some 2 years of lag. Okay, 2 years back. So how the people enrolled? Why the people are going in the North India a lot to the PSIR? Because there people appreciate the humanities. Majority of the people, they are going for the humanities like political science, okay, and economy, history. What is the advantage when you are going to the humanities? When you are going to the humanities, your thinking pattern will be opened up widely. Technical subjects are, your thinking will be very narrow, whereas when you are going for the humanities, you will open up your thinking. Okay, fine. So Machiavelli told about the state in this way, and John Rawls' theory of justice, what he was saying about. I'll give an example. Okay, what is John Rawls' theory? And I'll ask one question to you. And so if that is the situation happens to you, what you will do? I'll explain to you. Okay, so optionals, regarding the choosing of optionals, there are two category of students. First category students, they'll go for the optional whatever the degree they studied. Okay, nothing wrong in that. Some students even they go for the maths also, if they done MSc maths and all these things. Some students, okay, they want to choose for other than their degree, students. Okay, for example, how many of you done your political science? How many of you have political science in your degree? How many of you? 1, 2, 3, 4. So rest of the people, you don't have the political science as a degree, but still you want to opt. You know the thing, students, nowadays in the modern society, the majority of the problem we are facing is having too many optionals. Okay, 20 years back, when you are having television, you are having only one option, Doordarshan. So you will stick to that. In the same way in UPSC also, regarding the GS 4 papers as well as essay, okay, here you don't have any optional, you don't have any choice, you have to read this. So no confusion. But when the UPSC is asking you to choose something, then the confusion start. Which one I have to choose? The first thing come, which one I have to choose? Because when optionals comes, with this kind of dilemma will come. Which one I have to choose? Those category students, these two ways, like I said earlier. Okay, mathematics and literature, or someone from economy who done the masters in economy, and some of the people like political science, they straight away. For these category people, not at all the issue. Okay, because already they studied enough in the degree, like political science, few people raise their hands, so they are continuing. Like few years back, Tina Davi, okay, when she got the All India first rank, she studied, graduated in the political science, and this year also All India topper political science. Okay, so why this trend is going? Because the division in the north and south. In the north, generally, whenever you take on any given day, North India people, they are enrolling into the humanities are increasing a lot. Okay, mass communication and all these things. Like I said earlier, it open up your thoughts. Fine. So one is this two types of students. These students already decided about their optional. Okay, I'll go for this optional because I studied. And these students, when you are not sure about the optional, what you have to do? Okay, I'll help you out. So here we are going to discuss about first optional dilemma. I am covering this. Okay, what kind of dilemmas you will face before you choose the optional. Then once I clear your doubts regarding this, why PSIR and what kind of information you require, PSIR toolkit, okay, what kind of resources you must have, then we will go for the PSIR syllabus. I will help you out. And so how this course structure will be there are classes and everything. And finally, what kind of value addition you can expect in this course. So, these are the learning objectives we are going to discuss in today's class. So far we discussed about, regarding the optional, what are the different types of students and why North India so many students are going for the PSIR. How can I say so many students going for the PSIR? See here. So this is the 2020 report. Even now you can log into the this heading, distribution of candidates according to the optional subject, Civil Service Mains Exam 2020. Just you can type this, you will get the PDF from the UPSC website. Now we are in 2023 with 2 years of lag, these reports will be published. See in 2020, how the trend, this is about the students who appeared for the mains exam. Okay. So in the mains exam, first one is anthropology 1200 people, rest of is below 1000, and after anthropology, next political science. Anthropology was the 1200 students and political science is the 1800 students, and next more than 1000 is sociology. This is the reason whenever you come to Ashok Nagar or whenever you go to Delhi, these are the famous optionals generally you will come across: anthropology, sociology and political science. But what you don't know is generally, okay, because Hyderabad, when you are in Hyderabad, you are in a very small world, you think that anthropology is the one most of the people are taking, but this is the UPSC data. Now we can understand around 1860 people, okay, 1.5 times more than the rest of the optionals. What is the reason? There must be a reason here. These are not fools, okay. There must be a reason why the people are taking these many people. Out of the entire mains rating people, 1863 people, okay, they wrote with the PSIR optional and 154 they got into service. When you are having the jobs in 2020, the overall jobs are around 900 only. It was 900 or 800, I was not sure. In that, 150 members are with political science optional only. That means 20% of the students, more or less, they are from the political science. Tell me what might be the reason. So these are numbers won't lie. Okay. For example, if I would have teach the psychology also 115 members wrote, but here we are talking about the numbers. Why so many members you think they are opting for the political science? What is your review, students? Overlapping with the GS, he is saying that because it helps in the GS, that is the reason people are choosing. Any other views? Current affairs, because it is overlapping with the current affairs. Scoring, obviously. Yes, interest about the international relations, because you know students, if your dream is to become IFS, Indian Foreign Service, you will study about the international relations, foreign service only in the PSIR optional. You won't study such kind of information in any other optional. Forget about the sociology, anthropology or PubAd, whatever it may be, you never study. That means obviously by the time of going interview, these guys are very good in the international relations. If they ask any question about the India-US relations, now our Prime Minister, okay, US visit, NATO plus, okay, and Quads and jet engine technology, GE General Electrical, they made an agreement with the Indian company, HAL, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited. So all this kind of information already you are learning in the India-USA superpower topic, that is IR. I will help you out that syllabus. So the first one is, with numbers I am proving to you that out of the 2020 mains selection students, out of them 1800 students, okay, these numbers won't lie, 1800 students, they went for the PSIR optional. The reason is, now I am going to explain to you. What is the reason? Okay, we are living in very small world, students. We don't know. Okay, that is the reason sometimes we are often very misguided. Okay, about the option and all these things. Okay, friends. So why so many people they are opting for PSIR, political science and IR? Okay. And one more thing, students, once this workshop is done, okay, in next few days you are I will push some YouTube videos on important concepts, like what is the meaning of social contract theory, what is the meaning of John Rawls concept of justice, okay, that you can go through those videos also, because your details are there now. Okay, whenever I make those YouTube videos, I'll push that information to you. So you will prime before you start the classes. You already have a vibe of what is political science is going to be. Okay. Now, so why PSA so many people are taking? Number one, okay, first any optional students, first you should have a interest. Okay. This year, okay, one like a lady, she got third rank from Telangana state, from Telangana, all India level, third rank. Initially, she done 3 to 4 attempts with geography optional. Why she chosen the geography optional? Why not the scoring optional? She chosen the geography optional because she got the interest in that. Okay. So first you have to have a interest, because reading optional is not like a, it's not like one day or few weeks affair. It is going to be few months and it is going to be few years also. Once you are into the preparation, it is going to be a journey. First, interest. If you are into student politics, or if you are already inclined towards politics, or if you are graduated in the political science, or if you are interested about how Indian constitution is working, how some countries are working, how the international relations are going on. So all this exciting stuff is going to be there in the subject. So first, interest you must have. Okay, we can't force someone to take PSIR. If that is the case, if someone is forcing you, even that is not ideal for me also, because I cannot generate the ranks. If I have 10 or 15 genuine students, and if they are producing ranks, that is more good rather than the 20, 25 or 50 or 100 students. So first you must have a interest. So that means 1800 people they qualified with PSIR mains. That means 1800 they are in the mains, means it would have been thousands in the prelims with the PSIR optional. That means people are having more interested towards this subject. Why they are interested towards subject? Because in the newspaper around 85 to 90% of the day-to-day information about the polity only. Okay, how Rajya Sabha functioning, how Lok Sabha functioning. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, so how your PSIR is going to be helpful in the GS later parts I will tell you. So first, newspaper, every day in day out you will get the newspaper. In the newspaper you will get the political science. For example, Aristotle very popularly he says that even though a person is monarch, if that person is believing the God, then people believe him. Are you understanding? Even though a person is monarch, if the person is believing in God, people believing this monarch. Why? Because people think that because this guy is believing in God, God blessings will be with him. So obviously we will be very all right. That is the reason still some people like monarchs, still they, in the Western countries they will go to church and they will try to be very close with the Vatican City. And in India also some monarch politicians also they will go to temples and all these things, because to give the vibe. So see, this was stated by the philosophers very long back in BC. People like Plato, people like Aristotle. Aristotle said this thing. Vladimir Putin. Okay, so recently Vladimir Putin he is trying to get close relation with the church. Why? Because the monarch he tried to very close with the divine God, and the people also believe him. If you have watched the movie Troy, okay, did you watch the movie Troy? Troy movie. As soon as they landed in the enemy country, they immediately attacked the temple. Okay, because in those days temple used to be associated with the power. Even the Muhammad Ghazni also, as soon as he landed up India, even he attacked the temples, isn't it? Somnath temple been attacked. So these kind of perspective will develop over the period of time. So first, why PSIR? People are having interest, and in 2018, like I mentioned earlier, 1800 people, and even students, like if you look at the success rate also, that means out of 1863 political science main students, 154 selection means out of every 100, 9 members, if 100 members are writing the mains, 9 members are getting into the interview, or sorry, selection, getting into the service. Interview more than this. Why this much ratio is there? I will tell you now. Okay. So first one is interest. Second one, students, when you are studying the PSIR optional, generally student thinks that how it is going to be helpful in other areas, because UPSC preparation is so stressful. Okay, you can't read multiple subjects. If when you are reading something, it must be useful to you in other dimensions also. So when you are reading the political science PSIR, first thing is in gender studies paper 2. I am assuming that you know that there are 4 gender studies. General Studies paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. Paper 2 is about the Indian polity and international relations. This entire 250 marks, even some social justice also, this entire 250 marks will be covered in this optional only. Okay? So, you cannot find any other optional like this. Forget about you choosing the sociology, anthropology, pub-ad, whatever it may be, you never able to find that one entire GS paper will never cover in one optional paper. So, now this may be very small to you, but imagine when you clear the prelims, before you writing the mains, you approximately will get 100 days of time, not more than that. In those 100 days of time, when you are reading the optional, you should able to finish one GS also. That is where you are getting the advantage. That is the where there is a reason so many people, like data I shown to you, they qualified into the mains and they selected into the, they are in the list. Those many people in the list with PSIR optional. Success rate is high because their time is saving up. GS2. Second, essay. You must know that students, nowadays in UPSC, essays are more philosophical in nature. Do you know that? More philosophical in nature nowadays in UPSC essays. Already you are studying about philosophers in political theory, like what Karl Marx says about class division. Okay. So, what Aristotle was saying about, what Machiavelli is saying about. So, you are already studying about that philosophers, you can easily quote those philosophers, like quotations here. So, you will get a great advantage in essay. Your philosophical perspective will be developed here. Okay. And third one, GS paper 1, that is history. You will get surprise how the PSIR will help in history. Okay. I will give one evidence to you, students. So, here in PSIR, systematically I will help you out in the syllabus. Just now for your reference I am showing. This is Indian government and politics. This is popularly known as IGP. IGP. Okay. So, paper 1, part B. Okay. So, sir, excuse me sir, AC on Jera. Okay. Paper 1, part B, Indian government and politics. Part B. In this part B, what you are having here, Indian government and politics, political strategies of Indian freedom struggle. Straight away, this is the modern history. See here, constitutionalism to mass satyagraha, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, militant like Bhagat Singh, okay, and Kakori train accident, train attack, train robbery as peasant and workers movements, and perspective of Indian national movement, liberals perspective, socialist perspective, Marxist perspective, radical perspective. That means you will develop a perspective on the Indian national movement. This is directly going to be helpful in the modern history, Indian national movement. See, so this is going to add quality addition at least 20 to 30 marks, 20 to 30 marks, entire modern history. Because modern history is all about Indian national movement and Indian history. I am not talking about the European entry and all these things. Indian national movement starts with the moderate phase. Okay, from moderate phase, it will start. Okay. So, this is the advantage in syllabus. So, we are not dealing some other things. Okay. Just with evidence I am telling to you how it will helpful. GS1 history, already the entire GS2 is covering. Then ethics. Ethics. In ethics, case studies will be given. Okay. Your moral values will be tested. Again, there the philosophers' ideas will come into handy. I will give you one example. Okay. So, like I said earlier, Rawls theory of justice. Okay. Please find in your syllabus part A, paper 1 part A, justice. Go for the concept of justice. Paper 1 part A. Paper 1 part A. Paper 1 part A. Are you able to find justice? There is one word called justice. Okay. You will find so many other words, justice, equality. Okay. Paper 1 part A, there is a word called justice. Are we clear, all of you? Are you able to find which page number? Fourth one. Okay, if you couldn't find, please find in the page number 4. Okay. So, now listen students. So, when you are reading the justice in political science, so Rawls, okay, Rawls theory of justice. Rawls theory of justice, he says that there is no complete justice to the vulnerable people. Okay, how can you understand that? How it is helpful in the ethics? I will give you an example. Okay, when we are discussing about John Rawls' theory of justice, I will give you one case study. For example, in an hospital, okay, in an hospital, so two people, okay, they are suffering from COVID, something like remdesivir injection. You know that for the COVID, at the time of COVID times, remdesivir injection used to be very popular. Now you have only one injection is available, and two people are required. Doctor is patient and another poor guy. Okay, these two people are there. So to whom you give the injection? This is where your perspective develop. Okay, normally, so there is utilitarian. Normally there is a concept called utilitarian, students. Utilitarian. What is this utilitarian is saying? Utilitarian is saying that when you are doing some action, that should be helpful to the more number of people. If you are a believer of the utilitarian, you think that the injection should be given to the doctor, because if doctor is being saved, so many other people also can be saved if you are believing in the utilitarian. This is what John Rawls said, that so by believing the utilitarian, we are neglecting the vulnerable people. See how simple it is to understand. Okay, if you don't understand, you will get confused about what is this utilitarian theory and all these things. Utilitarian theory is about doing the great or doing the good to the great number of people. Okay, same applies when you are making a road through a village. When you are making a road through village, what the government thinks to do the great justice. Okay, I told him, or else we can shift that side. Oh no. So just sit there. Okay, we can sit this side. Okay, please sit here. Okay, fine. Okay, students, utilitarian. What is the meaning of this utilitarian? So when you are doing something, if that action is helping to so many people, that action is justified. The same applies nowadays also. When you are building a project, okay, in a village, 90 people are benefiting, but 10 people who are losing out the land. Is the government really caring about that? No, that is where the justice is failing. That is what John Rawls identified. So it is about day to day. When you are a collector, when you are making a road from the village, okay, few people are losing, but 90% of the people, they want the road. Rest of the 10%, if you don't care, that means you are not delivering the justice. This kind of thinking will help you in where? In the ethics. In ethics, this kind of thinking will help you. See how overlapping it is going to be. Okay, 250 marks here you will get, and PSIR 500 marks. Okay, and if you add the rest of the things, okay, 100 marks, which if you spread in all these things, obviously 100 and 250, 350 and 500, around 850 marks straight away directly related to, 850 marks directly related to PSIR with evidence we are seeing. That is the reason, guys. Okay, people are not fools. Why that so many people are opting for PSIR means they went through this calculation. Okay, first people are having the interest and how the PSIR is overlapping. Your optional should not burden to you, especially in the gap between the prelims and mains. In the gap between the prelims and mains, the time duration is very, very less. At that time, again, you should not start with the another optional. Okay, or your optional study should not be different from your general studies. This is what I can suggest, and that is the reason most of the people every year, students, every year, mark my word, take last 10 years, every year in top 10 ranks, definitely you will find 2 or 3 from PSIR. That means 30% out of all these optional. How come it is happening? Because these guys are scoring in these areas also very well. So this PSIR only helps in the mains. Okay, what about prelims? Because if you clear the prelims, then only you will go to the mains. Yes or no? Obviously. So PSIR, if you are in the PSIR, this PSIR helps in Indian polity. Entire Indian polity will be covered in the PSIR. Out of Indian polity, every year you can expect 14 to 15 questions in prelims every year. That means you will solve 10 questions. 20 marks you are gaining from Indian polity alone. 20 marks. Generally, the cutoff will be the 90 marks for the general category. Generally, this time CSAT is very tough, so the cutoffs will be lowered. Normally, 90 will be there. That means 1/4 marks you are getting here itself. Okay, see how smart you should be. And in PSIR, you are reading the IR, international relations, current affairs. So current affairs is everywhere in the UPSC prelims. Okay, definitely it will fetch around 15 marks easily. I am conservatively, I am taking very less number. That means around 35 to 40 marks straight away with PSIR optional. The candidate is getting advantage. When you are in some other optional, like socio or anthro, you are out of the game here. You are nowhere. You are not going to be here. Again, you are going to start the polity and IR current affairs differently. But here, you are reading the current affairs, IR, and IR is completely paper here. You are completely done the polity here, okay, Indian polity, and the same Indian polity is appearing in the prelims. What not? This year, straight away, a PSIR student, how easily can do is this year. What is that? Due process of law. Due process of law related to what? They given the optional. If you have a PSIR perspective, you can easily answer that due process of law helps in the. It helps in the what? It helps in the implementation of the laws, whether the laws are implemented properly, fairness of the law, that is the answer actually. It's not the due process of law, fairness, not the principles of natural justice, fairness of the law. That easily you can understand. And one more question they given, constitutionalism. Constitutionalism means what? It limits the government. We will have this concept, okay. In the social contract theory, I will explain constitutionalism. See how directly it is reflecting, okay. With evidence I am telling. You will clear the, you will be very confident about prelims, and mains also you will be very confident. But still, why people are some myths are there, okay. Why people don't incline towards the PSIR? Number one, they don't have the awareness, point number one. Because what the institution generally will do, whichever that institution is very popular for, they will mold the students in that way only, okay. The institution is very popular for anthro, they will mold the students to anthro only. Because generally the student will come with a very clean slate, he don't know, and he'll read the half of the, when he starts in Ashoknagar journey or Delhi, after 1 or 2 months, then he realized that, oh, this is not my interest. Then that entire schedule and curriculum will be mess up. Number one, not awareness about all these things. So first one is, okay, so regarding the PSIR optional myths, okay, not only this PSIR, every optional it happens. Number one, not awareness about that particular optional. That is the reason now we conducted the awareness session, okay, workshop. Second one, people have a myth that it is so dynamic. PSIR is a dynamic subject. Can we cope up or not? Okay, the second myth generally people will inculcate to you. If you are not dynamic enough, you will never clear the prelims. Point to be noted. Period. That's it. Your preparation is not dynamic. You are never going to clear the prelims and mains and forget about the interview. Anyhow, you have to read the current affairs. When you are reading the current affairs, if it is stately helpful in the mains, then what is the problem? Okay. So whatever each and every minute you are spending in a preparation, it must have cascading effect. It must be helpful in other areas. Then only your time it can be useful in a very valuable manner. Are you understanding? So dynamic means you should take it as a very positive. Because your thoughts must be very dynamic, students. It should not be outdated. Okay. Yesterday I shared one article in a PSIR Telegram channel regarding the India-US. Okay. Go through that article. How enriched that article, you will understand the enlightenment what you will get. So dynamic means obviously this dynamicism will help in your interview. Will help in your mains and prelims, because in prelims current affairs is there. Mains, each and every answer we are getting dynamic, like how the Harappan civilization is helping to modern day. That is a dynamic question. How you will answer when your preparation is dynamic. And third one, it is vast, okay, syllabus. Obviously when there is a positive, obviously there is some other effects also there, because it is covering these many areas. So that means so many topics you have to cover, but those covers will again, those topics again repeated in the areas. Okay. Always remember, when you are a student, directly reading something is different, and applying, you already read in another subject, if it is helpful in another subject, then you feel very happy. For example, you read something in the optional, But the same thing is helping in the general studies means obviously you feel the smoothness of the preparation. That is the main idea. That is the reason most of the people they are going for this PSAR, like the data I shown to you. And fourth one is political thinkers. Political thinkers, hard to understand. Political thinkers, what they said centuries back, now still it is valid means they said something very valid. The only thing is it's all about teaching, how you are learning. That is the reason. Okay. So that is the reason, guys, because I am teaching this Indian polity for last 6-7 years, and I taught so many students about mentorship about the PSAR and regarding this. So political thinkers, it will be very easy, students. It's all about teaching. Just now I told you John Rawls theory of justice. I given a simple examples to you. Okay. So when you are going through these kind of examples, it will be very easy for you. Meanwhile, if you are interested and sincere about this political science, then in NCERT also, you have political science in NCERT 12th class, I think so. NCERT 12th class book on political science. Download that and read that. It will help. It will help in founding that right knowledge to you, political thinkers. So don't worry about that. It is also going to be easy. See what Chanakya told 100, few centuries back, still they are valid now. What Chanakya in India, Chanakya very popular, known as Indian Machiavelli. Do you know why we very popularly called Chanakya as Indian Machiavelli? Have you heard about this word? Chanakya called as Indian Machiavelli. Why? Very good. Theories are similar. In which way? For example, Machiavelli clearly mentioned that politics completely different from the ethics. A politician need not to have a ethical values. A politics, it must be involved with only the governing of state. Okay. Sometimes it may be the unethical way also. That is what the China is progressing. We are saying a lot of time. Do you really think the China government is doing ethical things always? No. Okay. Even when you are become collector also, just now I give an example. One village they don't want road, but the rest of the village they want roads. It seems unethical to you to disturb the village, but your rule should be there. You have to go through that work and all these things. So modern day, okay, their thinking 600 years back, 700 years back, their thoughts are still relevant to this day means how grateful they are. That is the reason we are calling them as they are the living fossils or living manuscript, we can call it as, or living encyclopedia, you can call whatever it may be. Okay, because their thoughts still valid. In this way you have to learn, okay, about the political thinkers, what they said and why they said this thing on that day. Because every political thinker, for example, Machiavelli told these things. Why? Because he was influenced by his society. For example, if you are a person who graduated during the Telangana movement, your perspective will be different. And if you are a student graduated now, your perspective will be different on Telangana movement, especially when you are writing the group 1. And your father who born in 1970s, somewhere or 1960s, his perspective is different from your great grandfather who born during the Indian national freedom movement. It's all about at what age you are, okay, when you grown up, what kind of situations. So when Machiavelli was grown up, his country was battling, okay, so many small kingdoms were there, they are fighting each other. So he believed that a strong ruler should require for Italy. That is the reason he has always supported the strong ruler. The same happened with the Bismarck. The same happened with the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. He approached to all the princely states to come and join with the India. So this is how, guys, okay, this is how your thinking should be there. So unnecessarily few people without knowing that, okay, they unnecessarily create fear. But the political thinkers, if you are very strong, generally for the first 20 days or 1 month, we will concentrate only on the political thinkers. If you are very strong enough, questions are very static on this topic. You will answer easily. Okay. Plato ideology is not changing now. It is there. It will never change. Machiavelli ideology never change. The advantage of this is you always should look at the positive, guys. The day when you started for the UPSC journey, your attitude must be positive. You should always look at the brighter side. Okay. Even when you are posted in some remote tribal area, you should see the brighter side that, okay, here there is a larger scope that I can develop these people. Okay. So, these are some of the myths. Apart from this, rest of the things are common to the every optional. Not awareness majorly, especially the Hyderabad crowds and our students, because in our Hyderabad also, Telangana and Andhra also, humanities side colleges are not that many, and not that many reputed colleges also there. Whereas if you go to Delhi, Stephens College, Lady Sri Ram's College, so many whatnot, you can count 10 to 15 top colleges easily. Okay. But because of that, the people are appreciating. Whereas here, simply been misguided and they are not using properly the time, and the selections are getting lower. And nowadays, the selections are high from the, majorly from women's, because obviously when they are in choosing the humanities, the perspective will develop. And of course, the reason for that women toppers is the different one. I'll tell you, during the course of time, because generally women is more system bound compared to men. Okay. There is a tendency that men always question the system. Okay. When I say something to read, why I have to read? Why can't I read some other things? Whereas women is system bound. So when someone is said, okay, these are the important points, they simply go away and read these points. There is a reason even the crime rate also is very less. The population is more or less same, men and women population, but the crime rate is very less, and the rule binding nature is very high in women. So these are some psychological things are there, but anyhow, we are not going into that area. So we'll stick to the political science. Now, why political science? Interest you should, and PSIR is overlapping around 800 marks. You will get, that much area you will cover by going for the PSIR. Optional is 500, GS paper to 250, essay, history, ethics. I shown the syllabus also. And PSIR helps in your prelims also, Indian polity as well as IR, current affairs. Okay. In your cutoff, at least 1/3 cutoff you will get by very thorough with the PSIR. Because even I forgot to mention here, when you are reading the PSIR here, you are reading the national movement also, Indian national movement also, because I shown you in the syllabus that non-cooperation movement and all these things, Indian national movement you will read, and the topics will cover. Okay. So this is the next, why PSIR. So I hope I answered majority of the aspirants question in detail, that is why PSIR. Next, what kind of things you have as a student regarding the optional. Okay, when you choose a particular optional, what you should have. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay, students, toolkit means what things you must have when you choose the optional. Toolkit. Number 1. Okay, we already covered this point, but I am writing here as a systematic manner. Number 1, optional and GS. How much integrated? This must, that means notes, optional and GS related notes, and how to integrate. Second thing is obviously, so right mentorship you should have, because optional is a very long one, and you should have a very right guidance, otherwise you will be misled easily. Okay, that means right mentorship means it includes the classes, coaching and test series. So altogether I can say the right ecosystem must be there. So regarding the PSIR, some of you are already listening my YouTube videos, and some of the people, you are my students from Indian polity classes, so you don't need to worry about that regarding the quality and everything. So second one is right ecosystem, and third one is, okay, right material. There is enough material available in regarding the PSIR, and your journey can start with the NCERT class 12 political science basic. Later you can upgrade yourself to the IGNOU material, and once the classes is started, I will give you some reference books also. Okay, right material. So these are the only 3 things you must take questions. Okay, the right material also includes the PYQs, how the previous year questions are been asked, PYQs. Okay, and sample model on question to answer, sample answers. I will help you in the class. These are the things a student must have. So next, third one. Okay, we will address one by one. Next, PSIR syllabus, I will help you out, systematically we will go through, and how the course structure. Okay, so it will take generally, okay, so at least around 3 to 4 months it will take easily, okay, because this course is designed because I have all the leverage, because I am the one who teaches to you generally. So, how the course will be, course structure, let me help you out. First thing is, this course is both online and offline. Course structure, both online and offline, because some students who are done with their general studies preparation, they may not be available in Hyderabad, or some other state students also for that. And offline students, in case you miss the class, okay, that particular day recorded class also is available, okay, a recorded class will be available in case you miss the class, okay, that will be available by the end of that particular day. And in case, okay, you opted for offline and you want to shift for online because 1 week or 10 days you got fever or you are going to home and all these things, at that time you can go to the recorded classes. And I planned this course in such a manner that you will have classes from Monday to Friday, and Saturday is exclusively for doubts clearing session, Saturday. For example, because sometimes your PSIR classes might be clashed with your general studies class, okay. If you miss the general studies class and attend the PSIR class, that would be easy because you can easily understand the general studies. In case due to some emergency work or something like you miss on that particular day class, you can go to the recorded class exclusively Saturday. First preference will be given to the online students, okay, who are missed out the class, because offline students physically they will be here, they can ask the doubts on day-to-day basis. So, doubts will be also cleared. And one more thing, time, okay, regarding the timing of the class, okay, the timing is 7 to 9 a.m. Initially I thought of start the class from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. but generally students will be very drowsy during this time, okay, after having lunch and all these things, okay. So, the class will be 7 to 9, and in case, okay, so like some of the students, if you have general studies class this time, okay, what I can suggest you is either stick for the optional class or make sure your general studies class is online available, or else that is the first option, because optional is the very core part, try to go general studies with the online. In case if you are not able to in this, then go for these classes and you can attend the doubts clearing session on Saturday. And if you are in Hyderabad, you can meet me on daily basis also after the class. For example, my class will be 7 to 9. If you are occupied till 11 o'clock or 10:30 in other classes, you can ask me and available here at appropriate time, you can get your doubts clear, okay. Actually, this is my most convenient time for me, but when students point of view, when I am thinking that 7 to 9 a.m. is early time is always is good for you, because once you are done with this thing, then rest of the day, because as day progressing, lot of deviation will come, students. That is the first thing. There is a reason you might have heard about this 5 a.m. club by Robin Sharma. Have you heard about this book, 5 a.m. club? Early, waking up early, it also a lot of productivity to you, because there is a reason thinking about all these things. Either it will be the 7:30 to 9:30 or 7 to 9. This will be the fix, and so this is the time where you are less deviation and you will attend the classes concentratedly. Rest of the time, rest of the day, if I fit like this class, I thought both. If the student is not having the general studies classes, if they are done, for only these classes they have to come to the Ashok Nagar in the mid of the day, okay. Morning will be done and evening also will be wasted. This time is there, then rest of the day they can do whatever they can. But I strongly suggest that if your optional is coinciding with your GS, okay, please go for the online GS, because you can substantiate this at any point of time, but you cannot substantiate this, okay. So, this is regarding the class structure, and after every class I will give the printouts to you, whatever I taught in the class, okay, printouts, and at the end of the course, like after 3 or 4 months at the end of the course, I will give the complete material, both part A, part B and part A, part B, both papers, paper 1, paper 2, material also will be given to you, okay, hard copy material. So, you can read that. This is about the course structure, students, okay. If you have any doubts and regarding the, so what we discussed so far, we discussed about all these things, course structure. Finally, what is the value addition? Like I said earlier, material will be provided after the class, and books at the end of the course. I will give the books on both papers, paper 1 and paper 2. This is about the valuation. So, before we going to the syllabus in detail, we discussed about students between two categories who are choosing optional to the degree or other than the degree they are choosing, we covered, and why PSIR, how the PSIR helps in your GS2, essay and history, ethics, and what is the success rate of the PSIR, that is also we have seen by going through the UPSC reports, okay, 2020 reports, how many students with the PSIR they wrote mains, okay, and their selection 154 students in the selection list. This is about the PSIR, so success rate, and how the PSIR will help in the prelims. I told you polity, IR, Indian national movement, all these subjects will be covered in PSIR. Next, what about the myths, how to overcome that, and toolkit what you must have, and regarding the classes, timings, and online and offline facility both are there. And finally, we will conclude this class by going with the syllabus. Okay, I will give you an overview what you are going to learn in the PSIR. You know students, PSIR include two papers, paper 1, paper 2. In paper 1, part A, part B, and you have the printouts regarding the syllabus, please go through. In part 1, okay, first topic is about the political theory. It's all about what is political theory and whether the political science is a science or social studies and all these things, you will get it. Theories of state. Already we discussed about the state in polity. If you attended my polity classes already, some of the students from other institutes, article 12, we discussed about the state. See, when you study about the state in this detail, that will add to your advantage in the GS paper 2 mains, because now here you will study about the liberal state, neoliberal, Marxist, pluralist, post-colonial and feminist theories of state. Then justice, John Ross theory of justice, just now we quoted John Ross theories of justice. It helps especially in the ethics, very, very important, because ethics is always about how qualitatively you are doing the justice to the people. In your case studies, you will have a lot of ethical dilemmas. So, here we will cover. Then political, social, political and economic equality. Even we studied in the Indian preamble, rights, democracy, different types of democracy, representative democracy, participative democracy and deliberative democracy, direct and indirect democracy. India follows direct or indirect democracy? Indirect democracy. But only in one area you will see the direct democracy in India, where? Yes, Grama Sabha, Article 243A, Grama Sabha. And political dialogues, what is the meaning of liberalism, socialism, Marxism, Gandhism, and finally we will discuss about political thinkers, Indian political thinkers, okay, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, Aurobindo Ghosh, Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar and M.N. Roy. M.N. Roy is about the communist ideology. And in polity also, I dictated to you in fundamental rights, making of constitution for some of the students. M.N. Roy was the first one who proposed the word Constituent Assembly. The word Constituent Assembly proposed first time by the M.N. Roy. And Western political thoughts, we start with the, in PSIR classes, first I will give all the basics for the first 1 week, then we will start with the Plato, and Plato student is Aristotle, actually. Aristotle, then Machiavelli, Hobbes, Locke, Mill and Marx, Gramsci and Hardage. So, these are the Western political thinkers. This is the part A, okay. Part A, definitely students, part A, it will enrich your brain, okay, seriously. Your perspective about the country, your perspective about the governance, everything will be changed in part A. Now, come back to the part B. Part B in PSIR, paper 1, part B. Part B is popularly known as Indian government politics. See how closely it matches with the GS paper 2 polity. First one, this is purely about the Indian national movement, helps in the prelims and helps in the mains GS paper 1. Already I told you. See, second unit, making of the constitution. For some of the polity students, already we done this topic. Here, value addition will be there. That means a student with the PSIR perspective and a student with non-PSIR perspective, when they are writing the GS paper to answer, definitely the student with the PSIR perspective will have the advantage. That is the reason the selection list I shown to you the percentage. Why? Because they are using that knowledge here when they are writing about. So, GS paper 2 answers. Salient features of the constitution, same, polity, preamble, fundamental rights, DPSP, amendment of the constitution, union government. Some students yesterday we discussed about the union government, council of ministers, president, vice president and all these things. Simply union government, state government, grassroots democracy, Panchayat Raj, 73rd, 74th and election commission, CAG, National Commission for SC, National Commission for ST. Recently, this year also prelims they given one question, which of the following are constitutional bodies? National Commission for BC is the only constitutional body that accorded the constitutional status through 102nd Constitution Amendment Act. Whereas National Commission for AC 338, ST 338A, BC 338B. Okay, this is about the syllabus and federalism, center-state relations, planning. Here, planning again, it will help in your GS paper 3. I forgot to write in the original sites. GS paper 3 in economy point of view, the planning, how to look at the economy. And finally, this is about sociology again, GS paper 1, social issue, regionalism, religionism, caste. Okay. So, these are the areas we are going to cover in the paper 1 part B. So, you can see how much overlap is there when you are reading paper 1, GS paper 1 and multi-parties. Recently, Election Commission of India announced that how many national parties are there in India? 6. Okay. See, pressure groups, you will read in the this like governance. So, here that reading will be very higher compared to the GS. And social movement, again it is a sociology, women movement, environment movement, Chipko movement, Silent Valley movement. Those are the different things that is about the GS, paper 1 part B. So, now you have a clarity about part A, part B. Then paper 2, come back to the paper 2. Paper 2 name itself is Comparative Politics, International Relations, Comparative Politics Analysis and International Politics. Paper 1 and paper 2 part A, it is about the comparative politics. Okay. So, how we can compare one country governance with another country governance, and you will have here, so what is the nature of the state, how the same, see already we read about capitalism and socialism in Marx ideology and everything. That is the reason, guys, if you are very good with the paper 1 part A, that will be fallen here. Marx ideology reflected in the China, Russia. So, IR topics, okay, you will get that idea. Next, politics of representative and participation, like industrial revolution and globalization, developed and developing societies. This is much in news, especially even in the COP27 also. COP27 also there was a debate about the difference between the developed and developing countries. Developing countries are demanding that developed countries should contribute more money. Have you heard about loss and damage fund? Loss and damage fund, COP27. There is a debate between the developed and developing countries. Developing countries are arguing that lot of pollution is due to developed countries only. Okay. But developed countries are arguing that whatever the pollution we done, it was before 1992. After 1992, the contribution of the pollution from developed countries is very less, and from developing countries it is more. So, that kind of perspective you will develop here. And same syllabus itself, see how it is repeating just now, idealism, realism, Marxist. Okay. In terms of country, there we discussed about in terms of individual. If that individual thinking is followed by one country, that is the country, that is so that particular ideology in the country. Key concepts in the IR, security, balance of power, and different actors like state actors, non-state actors. All this information is going to be straight away in GS paper to IR. Okay. Once again I am saying, with this knowledge, when you are writing the GS paper 2, your answer will be definitely altogether different game of play when compared to the normal students who are writing the GS2, because you are way above this understanding. Okay. And changing international political order, superpowers. At one point of time, USA and Russia, bipolarity, USA and Russia used to be very powerful. Now the superpower, China. To counter the China, even USA is thinking to give India membership in the NATO plus. That is in news recently. IPEF, Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, Quad, Malabar Navy exercise. It's all about this changing political dimension. Even because of these changes, even India is also asking the reforms in the UN Security Council. In UN Security Council, only 5 countries are having the permanent membership. India is asking for, India should get the permanent membership also. So, these are the ones like WTO. Recently, India fought for developing countries in WTO. Out of the 4 issues, India got favorable issues on 3. Again here, in economy, you will touch green box subsidy, amber box subsidy. Have you heard about these names? Subsidies, we will discuss here. UNO and ASEAN, APEC, all these IR parts will be concept point of view. In paper 2, here we exclusively discuss about Indian foreign policy. Okay. Initially, Indian foreign policy is mainly built on 3 things: non-alignment, internationalism, anti-colonialism. And how our foreign policy changed from Nehru time to till the present time. P.V. Narasimha Rao, he advocated for the lookist policy, whereas Narendra Modi, after he became the Prime Minister, actist policy. What is the difference? Okay, Indian foreign policy. Even initially, India used to help to other countries by directly involving, but we involved in the Sri Lanka and we got the very bad results. Because of that, we are not involving in the other countries straight away. That is how our Indian foreign policy. That is the reason, guys. It will reflect straight away in your current affairs and in your GS paper too. No doubt in that. With evidence also, we are seeing India and South Asia, SARC, free trade area, lookist policy, and river water disputes. Again, current affairs. Last year, Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, she visited to India. At that time, we made one agreement. Okay, so river water sharing. With Bangladesh, we share major rivers like Brahmaputra, Teesta River, okay, and Ganges River, we share. So, regarding the river agreements and Indus Water Treaty also, the river agreement between the India and USA, India and Pakistan in 1960, it was mediated by, who mediated this agreement? World Bank. World Bank mediated this Indus Water Treaty agreement between the India and Pakistan. We will discuss. If you have any problem in the Indus Water Treaty, where you will go? You will go to the Indus Water Commission. Still, if it is not solving, where you will go? World Bank. Still, if the World Bank is not solving, where you will go? International Court of Arbitration. When you are learning this kind of knowledge here, then your international relations will be like cakewalk. Okay. Next, India and Global South. What is the Global South? If you draw North and South country, majority of the South countries are underdeveloped or developing countries, whether North is the developed countries. So, India is advocating for the benefits of the Global South. Okay. That we will discuss here. Then India and global centers of power, India, USA, our Prime Minister visiting USA, EU after Brexit, how our relations, India relation with UK and how India relation with the European Union, and India, China, India, Japan. Japan, previously when Shinzo Abe used to be there, at that time India, Japan relations used to be very good. He was the one who proposed the Quads. Okay? And Japan playing very important role in the Malabar Navy exercise. Four countries very regularly he participates. With Russia, okay? If you know, students, with USA, with Japan, with Russia, with all these three countries, India is having the 2+2 dialogue. 2+2 dialogue. Okay? What is the other fourth country? USA, Japan, and Russia. These three countries, India is having the 2+2 dialogue. One more country is there. What is that other country? Australia. Australia 2+2. Recently with Australia, we had a free trade agreement also. So that will be reflected here. India UN system. India is one of the largest country, one of the country which contributing high number of personnel in the UN peacekeeping force. UN peacekeeping force popularly known as blue helmets. Okay, these knowledge will be helpful in the prelims. India and the nuclear policy. You know the students, India first time done the nuclear test in 1974. As soon as India done the first time nuclear test in 1974, immediately world responded. America responded with the NSG, Nuclear Suppliers Group. Okay, they put lot of severe sanctions on us. Why India done the 1974 test? Because the 10 years back in 1964, China done the nuclear test at Lopnor. Lopnor means like Pokhran in India. When China done the nuclear test, India was apprehended. India requested the help of USSR. They declined to help. Approached to USA. They declined to help. Then we developed our own. We started the uranium enrichment, and finally, we announced the world about nuclear test in 1974. It was reinforced again in 1998. Nuclear doctrine. We will discuss what is the nuclear doctrine. India always follow two things. Number one, no first use policy. That means if someone attacks with the nuclear weapons, then only we will attack. Second, we never use nuclear weapons on the non-nuclear country. Non-nuclear country we never use. So that we will learn here in the PSR. And finally, what are the recent development in the Indian foreign policy with Afghanistan and with Iran, Iraq, and with West Asia. With West Asia recently, you know students, India is a part of I2U2. I2U2 part of, okay. Here we will learn about the Abraham Accords. Abraham Accords. Actually, it was reflected in the recently UPSC prelims also. They asked one question on the, so I mean it related to Saudi Arabia initiated this peace, West Asian peace deal. On that they given the, so this question students. This is about the PSAR syllabus in detail. So when we go through this syllabus, you can understand how it is overlapping in the polity, IR, and ethical point of view, John Ross theory of justice, and all these things. So and even we have seen how many students opted mains with PSIR 2020, all India highest 1800. Next highest are the rest of the optionals like sociology and anthro. But highest is 1800 with 154 students finally they were in the list. And I answered all your questions, I think so. If you have any FAQs, please ask me, and sir also will give 2 minutes of talk to you regarding our organization and course. Okay. Answer writing is a part of that course. Obviously, when I give assignments, okay, you will write the answer and that feedback will be given to you. Okay, regarding the optional, and because the optional is overlapping the GS2, I will help you out in the GS2. Sir, help you out in the essay and ethics. Okay. Those things will be finalized. Weekly test will be there, assignments will be given. It's all about your sincerity. If you are sincere enough, those assignments will be evaluated. Otherwise, it's up to you, because we can't force the students, like on every aspect here. Interested students, assignments will be given. Interested students, they can write and evaluation will be given. Any FAQs? Online. It's okay, I checked, sir. Okay. And if you have any questions out of the classroom also, I am available. You can ask me. If you are hesitated, then sir will give 2 minutes of talk regarding our course structure, what kind of facilities you will be provided, and all those things. Okay. And this whatever just now okay, sir, please provide the book list. Yeah, we'll post. Yeah, we already have a Telegram channel, My Perspective, and Institute is also having the Telegram channel. In both the thing, in both the groups, book list will be provided. But initially, you first start with the class NCERT class 12 political science, class 12, and class 11 political theory. Please start with that before we start the class. Our class will be from the July 10th. It is coming on Monday. July 10th onwards, classes will be started. And whoever your friends missed out this workshop, next one more workshop will be there. Okay. And you should not get apprehension, like it is not going to be another work, another new thing. The same thing I have to tell to the other students also. If you are interested enough, you can log into the online, but don't waste your time. I can strongly suggest one more workshop will be there, that is for the students who missed today. Okay. And any doubts? Sir, how many months? It will take easily 3 to 4 months. Okay. It will easily take 3 to 4 months, and I can guarantee that by this, like September, whichever the 3 months you can calculate, July, August, September, October. By October, you can done with the, UPSC optional. From January onwards, mission 100 days, you have to be very thorough with the prelims. Once you've done with the prelims, again, you have to revise whatever you learn in the optional. Okay, 3 to 4 months it will take. So regarding the course price and everything, so sir will help you out, or administration will help you out. In case if you need any personal help, you can get back to me or sir. Sir will help you out. Not an issue regarding that. First, class related things or course related things, ask me. LLB. Obviously, whatever you are going through the LLB, because I am the law graduate. Sir is also a law graduate. Okay. Whatever you learn in the LLB, constitutional 1, constitutional 2. Okay. 2, since SEM 1, SEM 2, both will be helped to you here. And international law also you will read. That also reflect here. UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of Sea, that will be reflect here. Law is very close to the politics, because based on politics only law developed here. It helps to you. Human rights also will be reflect here. So many concepts will, justice and all these things. Regarding what? We did not discuss any subject here. Yeah. Obviously. Okay. So if it is tough for students, why these many students are going for the mains? Yes, forget about. We are discussing about sociology also. If that is the case, if you are going for the percentage, 12% is there for zoology. Out of every 41 students. Yeah. So see, we will go for the other also. I got your doubt. Don't worry. If you take any management, out of every 38 students, 6 students are selecting, 15%. Law, sometimes students who are not doing the law, they are going for. So it's all about, like I said earlier, you cannot rely on only one parameter. What you have to check? You have to check about your interest, your coverage, and your coverage in the prelims. Okay, you can name any optional subjects and convince me how it helps in the prelims and mains these many subjects. I am giving that option to you, because in PSIR we teach about the democracy, so democracy must be encouraged in the classroom also. This is a direct democracy, Grama Sabha like that. So ask me, whatever the question you have. Yeah. Okay. So tell me one optional and how it helps in the prelims and how it helps in mains in these many marks. I'll give enough time to you and come back with any name, any like mathematics or option or sociology or anthropology, and convince me it will cover. It should actually, here I did not mention the GS3. It helps in GS3 also. Just now I told you planning and economy. Okay, and marks are also very good. First ranker this year, and every year out of 10, at least you can get the 2-3 from Chinnadabi onwards. Every year you can have a 2-3 from Pol Science. Okay. Which one? Not some part, entire polity is covering, yeah. Not sure. The syllabus is there, yeah. I read out the syllabus to you now. Are you understanding? Paper 1, part B. What is the part B? What is the part B? So, Indian government and politics. The entire polity is reflected here. And if you are very sure about the polity, how many marks you are getting in the prelims? Tell me how many marks, how many, this, you give the prelims this year? No. That is the reason actually. What is your name? Surendra. Surendra, the syllabus itself is here. Polity is here. You should not have any apprehension. I can understand when you are in the student age. I can understand because the optional is uncharted. You never experienced. What is your graduation? Economics. Okay. Why you did not choose the economics then? You know Gaurav Agarwal. He got the first rank with the economy optional and economy degree. She is from political science. Yeah. Yeah, that is the reason. So there are two category of students who are very good in the graduation, they will go with, and students like you, me and everyone, they will choose the subject which they did not read in the graduation. When they are choosing, these points, these boxes have to be ticked. See, for example, if you choose economics, it not helps in the essay, GS2 gone, GS1 gone, GS3 perfectly it will helpful. I can say that if you are with the economics. I mean, example, you tell any subject name, any optional name. I did not understand. You are asking about interview. Yeah, in interview they ask even from your village also, even from state. Where you are from? From Andhra Pradesh. Tell me any beach which got the blue flag certification from Andhra Pradesh. This was asked in the recently IFOS exam, IFOS interview. When I took the mock interview, the same question happened. This guy is from Srikakulam. He was asked the question. He was from Andhra. So interview perspective is completely different. Don't get bogged down now itself. Simple, minimalistic theory. One by one, you will get to the stage, Surendra, and you will be all right. Okay, be confident. Okay, don't have this kind of inferiority complex. Any doubts? And any day, convince me any optional with this range of coverage, and in interview also. If they ask you about what is your perspective about India-USA relations, what is your perspective about nowadays in Indian politics are becoming presidential. Like one person is controlling the party. But yeah, your perspective will be vary, but your perspective will be in sync with the Indian state. You cannot say that I believe in the Che Guevara, I will overthrow the state, and stateless and a classless economy I believe. That is means you are giving the radical thoughts. When you are having the radical thoughts, you are not fit into the administration. Clearly. Because Indian government want who can best serve to the state or country's needs. You have to align. If you don't have the thoughts, please align your thoughts with the Indian government stage. Okay? Any doubts? I will refer. I will send this book list. Don't worry, and I'll provide the material also. Yes, equal. Carry equal weightage. That is the reason they divide it. Depends on part A same untundi. Part B dynamic kabatti marutundi. IR kuda ante. Part A same untundi.
I was hello students, those who have come for the first time. I am Major Oberoi. I am one of the faculties and mentors here. Incidentally, I also happen to be a PSIR optional student. 2012 I had passed UPSC using the same optional. See, the quote what sir gave initially, understand this, you are reading PSIR for this, not for anything else. Sir's question of support in the GS, there are only two optionals in the present scheme of things that support you in the GS part drastically. Geography is one optional that supports you very well in your GS part, and the second is this paper only, this optional only. People say anthropology. Believe me, I have studied anthropology also, because I belong to the era when there were two optionals. So anthro and PSIR was my choice. Anthropology at max Indian society, it helps you only peripherally, nothing much. And always understand, optional and GS have different purpose. The same question asked in GS, same question asked in optional, the approach to write the answer would be completely different. If you write in the optional paper in the GS approach, you will get 0. In the GS paper optional approach, still you will get 0. Because optional is more ideologically oriented. The thought process of the scholar who gave that idea, that forms the essence. The time frame when this was propounded, that is also an essence. The school of thought, all these dimensions come into play. So if a question on democracy is asked in GS, your attempt is completely different. The moment it is asked in PSIR, you have to give lot of references there. Authors references. Somebody asked book list. Sir was asking the book list. The study material of the institution, the production has started. It will take good about 90 days time. But as and when the content gets ready, because we are not following only OP Gobo or something. The kind of book list, if I give you the 52 books that I am following to make the study material for you, you will be spellbound. The idea is you should not read all those books. I should read and pick up topics which are good from that book list and give you a study material. That is my job. See, UPSC is all about intelligent work. Nobody is asking you to become a philosopher in political science. That's not the idea. The idea is to pass this examination with minimum effort, right effort. Okay. Maximum effort I will do. I will read those 52 books. Sir will also refer, this topic is good in this book. Based on that, the study material will come. Okay. The idea of giving you study material is class note, study material, paper. That's all. You should not be touching any standard book beyond that time. If you go to the standard book in UPSC preparation, you may master the subject, but you will definitely fail in UPSC. That's the idea. The idea is to pass this examination. Minimum output, minimum input, maximum output. So I will do the hard work, you do the smart work. Do not get into reading. See, there is a book called Sabine. You know Sabine? Sabine is known to be the Bible of PSIR. Political science ka wo sabka baap hai. If you read Andrew Haywood, if you read Bailey and Smith, I can count number of books like anything, but you don't have to read it, because you are not doing post graduation or you are not doing PhD in that subject. You are reading a subject. What is, see, understand the essence why optional is required. Optional is primarily required to analyze whether you can read a subject in the perspective of post graduation level or not. That's all. उससे ज़्यादा नहीं है. Do not give too much of weight to optional. If you have attended classes, if you have made proper notes, if you have studied the study material given to you, believe me, 320 in PSIR will not go anywhere. It will not only give you 320, the entire GS paper 2, as sir said, complete support you will get. SMA highly, what you call, useful. Ethics, certain dimensions come from philosophies only, because ethics is a byproduct of philosophy and political science is also a byproduct of philosophy. So don't worry, right? And as regards the conduct of the course as such, 10th of July we are starting the batch. 4 months, 3.5 to 4 months it will take. Anywhere between 260 to 290 hours of classes would be conducted. The micro scheduling, you will receive it. Personally, we will share it with you, all the micro scheduling. Believe me, not only sir's teaching, the optional at Ekam is not about class. Optional at Ekam is after class what? So we will assign mentors to you who are the students who have done their UPSC with optional PSIR, who will guide you how to read the study material, who will guide you in your answer corrections. Sir will also do, the mentor will also do. So the mentorship support for your optional is inbuilt course here. Okay, it is not like sir will take a class 9:30, sir will leave. That will not happen. Even if that happens, there are mentors to take care of you, and you don't have to pay anything for that. Believe me, you will not. I will not ask you to pay a penny also for your mentoring. If nobody is there, I am there. Don't worry. We are there to take care of you only. The PSIR optional has been introduced with the sole purpose of increasing your chances of selection in UPSC. Believe. That's the idea. I have introduced this optional on the course, and any doubt related to the optional still you have. You can meet sir personally. Sir will be there in the ground floor. Second floor, sir will sit for some time. You can go and talk to him personally. Okay? And study material also, we will provide you enough handout. Sir would have spoken during the course of his lecture. Every day after the lecture, you will get a handout. The bombardment of information to you is my responsibility. Now, how to use that information to make essence out of it is your responsibility. Okay? So, this is what announcement. As regards the payment of fees, 37,500 is what we have decided, but we decided to give you discount. 35,000 would be the final figure, including the taxes that the optional will cost to you. If you want to get further details, Lakshmi is there. He is the what you call counselor. You can go and talk to him in person. He will help you with the admission process and other things. As an early bird offer, if you register it in before the 1st of July, you can get little more discount also as an early bird offer. Okay? Do not worry about the factor of money. Money at Ekam is always secondary. The teaching is always primary. So, concentrate on that what you will get from Ekam. And believe me, if you pay 32,000, I will personally ensure you will take home 3,20,000 minimum into 10 times. That has always been my logic of dealing with the students. So, money as a factor of consideration never played. The students who are part of Ekam, they know what I am saying. Okay? So, do not worry about it. Be more worried about your performance in the examination. Okay? Anybody now wants to ask anything, they are free to ask. I love this silence though, but still. So, that's the best achievement. No? There are 50 students and no sound in the classroom. Okay? So, we have a session on essay. We had planned a workshop on essay. So, we had a small power issue in the morning, so the session got delayed. My sincere apologies for that. Those who have come for the attending the essay, we may extend it till 2 o'clock, and those who have not attended the essay ever before, and this is the first time you want to listen to the essay, you can also stay back. We will try to close it in another 90-95 minutes. I will try to close. Okay? Very basic level dimensions related to essay I will talk. If somebody interested, they can stay back. If not, who wants to meet sir in person, they can meet sir on the second floor. Okay? We all are very happy that you all have responded in a very short notice. We did not advertise about this seminar today for more than 24 or 48 hours maybe. Just 2 days before we decided that because sir was busy with some personal commitments. So, we will have one more seminar, and then 10th of July the session, the optional starts. The idea is to complete it by October mid. Why? Because if you complete it by October mid, maybe you will another 60 to 75 days you have to revise. December forget optional, then immediately go back to your prelims preparation. That's the idea to complete. The next batch will start in mid of October, that will go till January. That is for 2025 students, not for 24. Okay? So, anybody wants to ask any doubts, they can ask. Otherwise, sir is available on the second floor. Morning sessions. Morning sessions. Which recorded classes? The GS. GS. Okay. Okay. See, this is a universal dilemma. This is a universal dilemma. So, what we will try to do is, we will try to have a mix of online, offline, both, something like that. We will find a way. Don't worry. If they are not ready to handhold you, I am there to handhold you. Okay? You may end up getting both only by paying something. We will try to find out a way out. Don't. Huh? And Saturdays, every Saturdays there would be only a dedicated doubts clearing session also. So, you can also come for that. See, the clash between GS and optional is a historical clash. It is not new. When I was also a student, that clash existed. When my father was a student, that time also this clash existed. So, it is generally what happens is one institution may GS karna, the other institution optional, these problems come. But believe me, it will settle down over a period of time. Don't worry, it will settle down over a period. Yeah, you have to weigh at times. Say if there is it's a light subject which is going on in GS, if you know you can read through it yourself, then but always remember, optional takes the preference always, because it is an expert who is talking on a subject which is supposed to be understood from an expert's point of view. So, that's how optional is always preferable. I am not saying that you leave there and come, that's not the idea, but optional is always important. See, I am not giving you any time restriction on how many number of times you can watch. If the course say ends on the 1st of October, I will give you delayed time. Don't. I told you, no, it is student centric approach. Whatever suits the students best, I'll give. As I told you, till December you have to revise. I'll give you access till December. So,
24 means working access to
yes, yes. So sir says, because this is a batch which is preparing for 2024, they will get the access till the mains 2020. Okay, we are here to give, take, enjoy, study. See, my intention is primarily, some institutions are spoiling the market of Hyderabad. Believe me, they are doing without the knowledge of the students. My idea is, my students should study in my institute, in my city only. My students should not go to Delhi. That's my logic. My students should study here, should get a rank from here, go and serve there. I have no problem. But should study here. That's the idea. Okay? As regards subject, complete submission, don't worry. He is a master in that. I have seen him personally. No teacher will come here without crossing my eyes of supervision. If sir has reached here, he is the best in the market. Matter of time, he will be the best in the market. Matter of time. Okay? And I have seen him because I talked to him. I am also a political, you come to my cabin, one side all books are political science thought books only. If at all you come, you will come to know. So we engage on an ideological discussion. So once he responds, I will understand what is there inside. And believe me, I am satisfied. If I am satisfied, there is no doubt that there could be any iota of doubt that any of you will go home without satisfaction. And I have known him personally, though not very long. I have seen him to be a very hardworking person. So if a teacher is hardworking, the student can be rest assured the result will be positive. Take care. Right. Anything else? Chalo. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.